Whether you are an expert or a noob, mindfulness is going to help you taste coffee better all the time if you do it consistently. Mindfulness has roots in Buddhist meditation, but I'm not a Buddhist and you don't need to be to practice mindfulness. You just need to practice being present in the moment, being aware of what you are experiencing in the moment, practicing a non-judgment towards those experiences, and practicing intention of your attention. So let's get into it. So mindfulness is really boils down in coffee tasting to what is going on between you and the coffee, how your posture is, whether you're bending over the cupping table, whether you're standing upright, if the spoon is in your mouth, or if you're spitting into the cup. Being aware of all of the motions that you're doing and doing them consistently is going to help you. I think about when NBA players step up to the free throw line. They have a consistent practice no matter what the situation is, right? Sometimes they dribble the ball 3 times, take a deep breath, and then shoot. Find a consistent practice and do it hundreds of times. What I do is I step up to the cupping table for each sample. I dip my spoon into the water to clean it. I tap it once to get the water off. I take a little inhale in that moment. I scoop the coffee with the spoon. I slurp. I spit in my spit cup. And then I do a little exhale to try to push vapors up into my retronasal. And I do that for every single cup that I taste. That helps me eliminate some of the variables so that the only variables are the coffee itself. That's going to help immensely. Just doing the same thing and being aware of it. Also, being aware of your surroundings is going to help. And right now, for example, I'm practicing mindfulness by feeling my feet in my shoes on the ground. I'm feeling my clothes on my body. I'm feeling a very soft breeze on my skin. I'm hearing the birds and the insects. I'm seeing the trees and the sky and the ground. I'm trying to be mindful. And I'm not perfect at this, and neither are you probably. And that's okay. That's when we realize we have deviated from a mindful state. Don't be hard on yourself. Just like when you maybe don't get something in the coffee that other people get, it's okay. Don't be hard on yourself. Just practice a non-judgmental attitude, and instead of beating yourself up about it, just focus on recentering. Okay, so okay, I'm a human, I make mistakes, I'm going to keep at it. Persistence is going to take you a long way in this. So when you are tasting coffee, assuming that you're having a consistent physical movements, and that you're minimizing distractions, the things that you can focus on are things like the temperature of the coffee, right? So obviously if it's super hot, you're going to get burned, you're going to say ouch, you're not going to want to taste it. But noticing how the coffee changes from even before you pour the water, which is the fragrance, to how it smells after you pour the water, which is the aroma, to what the coffee is like at hot, warm, and cool. This is actually something that we talk about in the Brewers Cup competitions. So it is applicable all along your coffee journey. We like to focus on flavor in coffee. Of course, like if it tastes like a raspberry or a certain cardamom spice or a jasmine floral, and that's great, but there's so many other things to be mindful of when we are tasting a coffee. So in addition to the flavor, there is the ever important acidity, which is the brightness or the tingliness that it gives your mouth. In extreme cases, this can be perceived as a sourness, which is unpleasant, or the lack thereof. So it could be really flat and dull. These are things to note and to pay attention to. How does it change? Does it change? Body is another one. So how thick the coffee feels. Is it more syrupy and coating, or is it extremely thin and delicate and tea-like? And not assigning necessarily a good or a bad to that, but just noticing that as you advance in your coffee, there are some positive or negative qualifiers you can put on that. But I really encourage people as they're developing, just observe and note what it is. Coming back to that non-judgmental state, there's been so many times when I am tasting coffee with other people, and sometimes people throw out notes that or comments that are I could tell they were feeling a bit unsure about them. They thought maybe it wasn't going to fit in with what other people were experiencing, and they almost didn't even voice their experience. But so many times when people have done that, other people in the cupping table have also afterwards said, "Oh yeah, I actually got the same thing, but I wasn't going to say that because I wasn't sure either." So I think that the more people voice their opinions, own their experience, it allows us, when we are discussing, to have a much more enriched discussion. And that's the beauty of coffee. It's such a complex beverage, and we should celebrate it as such. There's thousands of different chemicals, compounds in the coffee that could be responsible for flavor and all the sensations that we experience. So everybody should just own their experience. They're not right or wrong, they just are. So mindfulness can have such a big impact, not only in other parts of your life, like stress reduction and emotional regulation and increased focus, but again, with coffee tasting, it is so fundamental. So start practicing mindfulness, leave some questions or comments down below, hit follow, and stay tuned for some more.